The Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus recently wrapped up filming this February. It's a huge news to the PJO community as a lot of fans have been waiting for this new season ever since season 1 ended last year. In my previous video of a summary of what we know about season 2, I made some predictions on the plot we might get there. And in this video, I made a list of the top 10 things we might see in season 2. These would include things that I wish the show would have with this new season, and overall share my expectations as well. So before getting into it, spoiler warning for the Sea of Monsters book. And with that, let's get started. Number 10. The Chariot Races. I think the most prominent advertisement we have for season 2 are the chariot races. We saw this in the teaser we got 5 months ago, and we even see a shot of it here through an Instagram post from the PJO director James Bobbin. The chariot is also seen in this photo from the Percy series Instagram page, and overall, it's really cool to see for us fans. In the Sea of Monsters book, chariot races were a huge aspect, and Percy and Annabeth worked together to win. A chariot race also gave us a pretty sweet Percybeth moment, with Annabeth kissing Percy on the cheek in triumph by the end of the book when they won the race. Number 9. Tyson's bond with Percy. A new character we get introduced to in the Sea of Monsters is Percy's Cyclops half-brother Tyson. Tyson was actually Percy's friend from school, but Percy had no idea that Tyson was a Cyclops because of the mist, or the supernatural force that helps mortals see ordinary things when supernatural events happen. When Percy realizes the truth, he actually got embarrassed that he was related to Tyson, because Cyclopses are generally considered to be monsters. Percy tries to distance himself from Tyson, but ultimately, he grew to appreciate his half-brother because Tyson cared so much for Percy. Tyson even went on to sacrifice his life to save Percy in the book, and Percy was devastated because he thought he lost Tyson forever. Luckily, Tyson didn't die in the end, and from that point, Tyson and Percy became pretty close brothers. I really wish season 2 will show Percy and Tyson's relationship like this. I want to see Percy bond with Tyson before Percy knew Tyson was a Cyclops, and then shifting to Percy realizing the truth. And even if it is painful to see on screen, I would like to see Percy get embarrassed by Tyson. I mean, it is reasonable to get wary of Cyclopses in general, especially since a huge villain in this book is literally the Cyclops Polyphemus, and I just want to see some of the tension between Percy and Tyson. From this though, I want them to bond just like in the book, and see the shift when Percy would genuinely love Tyson as a brother. This would be so sweet to see on screen, and I would love it if this happened. Number 8. Circe's Island in History. In the Sea of Monsters, Percy and Annabeth came across Circe's Island, and this was another iconic Percybeth moment. Circe turns Percy into a guinea pig, and Annabeth ended up saving him. I really wish they keep this scene because it's so cute, and it hints on Percy and Annabeth's future romantic relationship. Also, I would want Disney Plus to expand more on Circe's Island, especially with its history in the Odyssey. So, the Odyssey is this long poem made by the Greek author Homer, and it played a huge role in Greek mythology. Circe's myth is from the Odyssey, as she meets Odysseus and turns men into pigs out of revenge because of her past of men attacking her and her island. I really wish the show would include this, and I have my hopes high because of how they portrayed Medusa in episode 3 of PJO. They gave importance to her story instead of overlooking it and treating her like an average villain. They actually took time to explain her past, and I wish Circe would get the same treatment, because she does play a fairly big role like Medusa in the second season. Number 7. The Fight Against Polyphemus. In the PJO show, Polyphemus is played by Alex Ponovic, and a major scene he might get is the fight Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Clarisse had against Polyphemus in the Sea of Monsters. At this point, Percy and Annabeth had to rescue Clarisse and Grover from Polyphemus to get the Golden Fleece to help Camp Half-Blood. Before accomplishing that, they had to fight against Polyphemus himself, and this is a pretty cool scene, as Annabeth tricks Polyphemus just like Odysseus did in the Odyssey. I really want to see this scene in the show because the stakes were so high, and I wish they'd make the fight scene a bit longer than the average combat scenes in the first season. This was a highlight of the book, and I wish they'd give more importance to it. Number 6. The Golden Fleece. The driving plot of the Sea of Monsters center on the Golden Fleece, or an artifact that could heal anything. We actually got to see this in the old Percy Jackson adaptation of the Sea of Monsters, but aside from this, I would want to see Disney Plus's version of it. It's the most important part of the book as Percy and the gang go through hell and back just to get it and save Camp Half-Blood. Number 5. The Princess Andromeda. In the Sea of Monsters, we see a demigod son of Hermes named Luke Castellan aboard the Princess Andromeda, a cruise ship that was actually funded by the organization Triumvirate Holdings. I actually made a pretty long video on Triumvirate Holdings, so you could check that out in the description. Anyway, this ship showcased Kronos' monsters and henchmen whom Percy and the gang would fight later on. The Princess Andromeda shows just how much Percy and his friends are up against, and it would be also fulfilling to see the fight scene that happens when they try to escape it. Number 4. The Siren Scene. Another iconic moment of Persebeth happens in this scene. Percy and Annabeth came across creatures called sirens, and they're beings who lure you to your death by showing your greatest desire. Annabeth wanted to see what her greatest desire was, and Percy helped her get close with the creatures. Here, we see more of Annabeth's character by learning that her fatal flaw was hubris, or deadly pride. The sirens showed Annabeth's dream of a perfect world that she designed, reflecting her love of architecture and her hubris as she thinks that she could build this fantasy all on her own. Inside this world, 3 people are present. Her mother Athena, her father Frederick, and a Luke who didn't turn evil. All of them would be happy and safe in this world Annabeth created, and Annabeth was almost giving in to the temptation. Annabeth was about to die with the sirens, but Percy pulled her away just in time. They landed in the water, and Percy made an air bubble for the 2 of them, as Annabeth soon snapped out of the vision. Annabeth breaks down crying and explains what he saw. This moment is so vital in Percy and Annabeth's relationship because it opened Annabeth up more and helped Percy understand her better. Like, this is a really sweet and iconic moment for the 2 of them. Number 3. Annabeth, Luke, and Thalia's history. A vital plotline of the 5 Pedro books is the story of Annabeth, Luke, and Thalia. All 3 of them had ran away from their homes and found each other as family. The Sea of Monsters shed some light on their bond, which the PGO show kinda hinted on in the first season in this scene of episode 5, but some flashbacks would truly help understand how complex and intricate Annabeth, Luke, and Thalia's bonds were. I mean, they were just kids, trying to survive in a world of monsters, and some more background on their lives during this time would be pretty cool to see on screen. Number 2. Percy and Clarisse's start of friendship. In the Sea of Monsters, we learn more about Clarisse. Actually, she was the one who got the quest to find the Golden Fleece and save Camp Half-Blood. Percy and the gang just joined in as well to stop Luke, but we do get to know Clarisse a bit more. We realize that she was being pressured by her father Ares to complete this quest and bring glory, and Percy feels bad for her. Ares seemed horrible to Clarisse, and that's why by the end of the book, Percy agrees to save Clarisse from Polyphemus, and Percy even gives her the Golden Fleece. Percy could have taken the fleece back to Camp Half-Blood and get hailed as a hero once more, but he didn't. He gave Clarisse the Golden Fleece for her to get the glory for once, and Clarisse was surprised. By the end of the book, they aren't really friends, but this is a good start to friendship between the 2 of them, since they didn't really have a good relationship in the previous book. And last but not the least, number 1. Thalia Grace's return. Thalia is one of the most important characters in the books, and she made her first appearance in the Sea of Monsters. Around this time, Thalia's tree was poisoned by Luke. They used the Golden Fleece to heal it, but it worked too well. Thalia came back to life as a human, and that was how the Sea of Monsters ended. It's a huge cliffhanger and setup to the next book or the Titan's Curse, and I'm so excited to see it. Tamara Smart will play Thalia in the show, and although she won't get that much screen time since it's literally at the end of the season, this moment is so vital in the book. It's supposed to happen just like the book version, because it would be the perfect cliffhanger to end the season. And that's my list of the top 10 things we might see in Season 2. All of these events are major stuff we got to read about in the Sea of Monsters, and I can't wait to see how Rick and the crew would interpret them for this new season. So how about you? What do you want to see in Season 2? Let me know in the comments down below.